Good morning, everybody, and a happy Saturday morning for you. Okay, there's so much to cover. This video has been split into two parts. There's no royal family video today, okay? There's three videos. Again, no royal family video due to content. And this is in two parts. And it's all down to a magazine article, but also there were some other stories that I couldn't put in videos of their own. So there's actually three stories in here. So there's a lot. Let's just jump in and cover it, shall we? Let's go. The first story we're going to touch on is the fact that Meghan Markle still can't get a CEO for American Riviera Orchard because so many people have quit. They have dubbed her as unbearable to work with. Nobody wants to work with her. She's been labeled as condescending by a former staff member. Who wants to work with somebody who's going to treat you like crap? And as far as the company's debut in March, she's only put out 50 jars of jam to close friends and 2 jars of raspberry jam and 1 thing of dog biscuits. They're saying online that the exit of all these employees is completely unprecedented for any company or even a startup, and that the brutal reality is Harry and Meghan are the toughest of taskmasters. They're very demanding. They're difficult to work for. They put up a lot of people's backs up, and nobody wants to deal with them. It's also being reported that she's been looking for investors, and that's why she was in the Hamptons, because she can't get anybody to invest in her brand or invest with her. Nobody's interested in her anymore. I just don't even know what to make of this company. I don't feel like it's ever going to launch. Okay, let me rephrase that. It did launch. It just hasn't done anything. But what they're saying, or what's being reported, is that the reason the company hasn't gone ahead is specifically because they haven't been able to find a CEO, and that's been the holdup. It's not the lack of products. It's not the lack of investors. It's nothing but the fact that she can't get anybody to take over as CEO. Now, this next article, this next topic is about her investing in another company. But what was really interesting is that this article tends to point out the fact that Meghan and Harry are definitely living separately. At least she's not living in that house in Montecito, which I've said for years. I didn't think she and Harry actually lived there. In the article, it says that Meghan said last week on a call from her home in Santa Monica, just after she and Harry returned from Colombia, that, people are looking online for things or reading things, and that's how she's finding these new designers. So either she's living separately from Harry or they're living in Santa Monica. All right. Now, you guys know how attentive us YouTubers are, how tenacious we are with our information. So after everybody started going, wait a minute, they said they spoke to her in Santa Monica, a correction was made to the article saying, no, she's in Montecito. I'm sorry. When the person writes the article and then it's checked over 3 times before it goes to print, that's something that they should have found. I believe it was correct. I believe she's in Santa Monica. Let's move on now to our big story for today. Apparently, all this merching that Meghan Markle is doing, she's merching things that she has invested in. She told the news that she has between 5 and 10 brands in her portfolio. So here's what she does. She calls the companies, in my opinion, this is what she does. She calls the companies, she asks for freebies. She wears whatever it is they send, and then she invests in the company if she thinks it's going to do well. The recent thing is a purse. So it's a purse that is hand woven by women in Rwanda, and then they're sent and finished in Italy. And so when she was in Colombia, she was carrying around this purse, which, by the way, is $750 a bag. No offense, but I don't know who her target audience is. I would never pay that much for a purse. And I think what's going to happen now is that people are going to look into this company like they did with Clever Blends. Remember, we found out that the coffee had lead in it, and she claimed it was female lead, and it was actually owned by a man, and that everything was ethically sourced. And then we found out the mushrooms came from a police state. You guys remember that? On the website, they talk about the sustainability and where the products come from and how they're put together and how long it takes to make each bag. And then the bags are sent off to Italy for finishing. And this is where, again, we start to dig into the company. When you go to their website, of course, you get one of these mission statements that sounds like something Meghan Markle could have written herself. Positive social impact, promoting gender equality. Then they proudly talk about how they pay the Rwandan women who actually handcraft these bags 500 to 700% more than what these women actually normally would make in Rwanda. Everybody should know that the normal income, the average monthly wage for somebody in Rwanda is $42. So these women get about $200 to $300 a month for sitting all day weaving these bags. They don't give the women any shares of the business. They don't give them any way to grow their own personal financial whatever. But you're supposed to be proud that they are supporting somebody by paying them $200 a month. I would not buy one of these bags. I'm sorry. My God. If that worked, if they worked every day over 30 days, they're paying them basically a little less than $7 a day. Can you imagine? Am I supposed to be proud of this? Because, I'm not. We all know that merching clothing or merching items for personal gain in the royal family was a no-no. So now basically she's learned to monetize herself. So what she's doing is this is what she said. I know there's going to be a global spotlight on what I'm wearing. So she's going to support designers that are small and up and coming that haven't gotten any attention. And then she invests in them and takes a huge profit. And that's how she plans on making her money. Because let's face it, if her and Harry split, she's not going to end up with a whole lot of anything. So there's one purse that she wore that got enough attention that the company was able to expand its workforce, which means the financial value went up, which means Meghan gets to make more money. Everybody should know, and I've left the dates on there, that this company has been in People magazine, Vogue, Harper's Bazaar, Cosmopolitan, Birdie, Forbes, Elle magazine, Town and Country, Grazia, InStyle. I could go on and on. The Wall Street Journal. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, it was even featured on Goop. Gwyneth Paltrow has already told people about this company. And as I've just told you a few minutes ago, what she said to the reporter, Meghan is basically telling people she's responsible for how well the brand is now doing. All right, you guys, that is the end of part 1 of this video. You're not going to want to miss part 2. So after you hit the like and the subscribe button and you leave your comments, go into the description box and click the link for the next part of this video. Follow me over. Let's go.